Come on. The name is Law Nation. This really is Law Nation. One way or another, as this room fill up, be sure, and I mean just that, be sure to smash upon the like button. Share this content. Shout out to the HBOs, the SGs that's in the chat. One love to you all. I really appreciate you. Mama said there'll be days just like this. Come on. 5, 4. Prepare for it, baby. One love. I need for y'all to hit that like button. Roll this thing. It's happy Friday to you and you and you. Come on. Shout out to the final word, too, by the way. We had a great conversation just last night. Come on. If you're not watching the final word, I don't know what's wrong with you and you. Come on. Come on. Support the nation, baby. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on. Yep. All right. If you don't like Law Nation,
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
come on, baby. What's good with y'all, man? The name is Law Nation without hesitations nor deviations to the matter. Be sure to do your boy a favor. Smash upon the like button. Share this content. Let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboys, Sports Talk, and beyond. And we going to get this party started. Of course, the Dallas Cowboys, this the off season. Everybody, mama, uncle, cousin, Tupac, and Biggie talking about this. Bobby Wagner, we're going to talk about this. But what is WLOG? What is that? Can somebody break that down for your boy? WLOG. Put that in the chat if you can. Can you break it down what that means, right? WLOG. Yes, indeed. Matt, what's good with you? How are you doing today, love? Feeling better today? Good to see you. Enjoy your vacation next week. Dallas, please, let's sign Wagner too. Let's go. I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you for your support. Let me give you a horn. You know what I mean? WLOG. Well, let's go. No. Come on. Say it with me. Let's put it on some t-shirts. We like our guys. But we like our guys. We like our guys. That's what WLOG means. So we're going to start putting that on hats, shirts. That's what we do. Smash upon the like button. Appreciate you so much, man. So we like our guys, you know, or I should say we love our guys, but that's just what it is, right? So that is the philosophy. We've been going back and forth with the Ezekiel Elijah Elliott. We've been talking about that, but WLOG, Lost in Translations Podcast. Appreciate you. That's a dope podcast name, by the way. But neither here nor there. I think there was another super chat out there, and I missed you. And it was Perry Borkin. Appreciate you, man, for your support. Thank you for the $19.99 for your mind. All right, so Lost in translation. I love it. I love it. We love our guys. So, all right. So let me talk about this. All right. So the conversational piece before we get into the Bobby Wagner talk, Jerry Jones said that he loved to take risk. He loved to take the moment of, hey, I'm a wildcatter, and I can be one, and I will be one, and no one can stop me if I really want to do such, right? We heard about those storylines before. Let me know if we all clear. Let me know if we all clear on my end, especially if you're on the Facebook. Let me know. Shout out to the Facebook gang. Appreciate y'all so much. I need to see if I got any Facebook people in the house before we get started, because we like our guys. You know what? That's going to be a dope hat. That's going to be a dope T-shirt. We like our guys. Yes, indeed. WLOG. All right, I see you, Regina. I see you, Charles White. Shout out to you. I see you, Leon Ware. Appreciate you. Byron, appreciate you. Loud and clear. All right, cool. Coach Marv. Yeah, shout out to you, Coach Marv. I appreciate you. Law, I don't have a wrench. Is this the same Coach Marv? Because I thought you had one. I thought you had one. Let me know, Coach Marv. It's the same Coach Marv. Give me something that I know that you're the same Coach Marv. Appreciate you. All right, so before we get into more details, here's my thoughts on it. I'm not saying that the Cowboys should go all in and grab a Bobby Wagner. But what I'm saying is that how the contract was broken down into pieces. I said what I said last season, that you could have took that franchise tag money that you signed with Dalton Schultz, and you could have utilized that money to sign a veteran guy like Bobby Wagner. That's what I said. And what happened was, over a course of time and weeks, it began to see that, hey, the Cowboys really could have went and got a Hayden Hurst or another guy, O.J. Howard, not Simpson, to solidify that tight end role and still draft Jake Ferguson and draft, you pick Peyton Hendershot off from the street and could have gotten some of the similar results. And I'm not saying that Dalton Schultz is trash or anything. Now, Law, what is your stance on Ezekiel Elliott? Well, here's my stance different from Dalton Schultz. One being, Dalton Schultz and Ezekiel Elliott contract obligations were two different things. The word obligated means that, hey, I got to do this regardless. Now, the whole situation with Ezekiel Elliott versus Dalton Schultz is completely different. Schultz didn't have no skin in the game, no skin in the teeth with this situation. So that's why I said what I said. Now, as far as my stance on Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott, because a lot of people get it twisted and saying that, well, you're not saying the same for Dak and Zeke. Why you like those guys? Why you like those guys and give everybody else passes? Well, the contract obligation sits in the way. It's clearly in the way. You can't lobby for any trades for Ezekiel Elliott because of the no trade clause, and you can't do the same for, dare I say, Dak Prescott. You can't because of the no trade clause. Now, those boys can waive that clause out of their contract at any time, but why would they? Right? Why would they? Why would they? Why would they benefit the team in that fashion? Remember, it's owner versus player, but the world don't see it that way. But that's the story of another day. I appreciate y'all so much. Let's listen to this audio from 1310 The Ticket. They broke down most of the stuff about Bobby.
Bobby Wagner are going to part ways. The Cowboys were in on this last March when he was out there as a free agent. We thought that would be huge if the Cowboys could add Bobby Wagner to this defense. But the Rams stepped out there and they gave him the 5-year, $50 million contract. And remember, we all thought, man, the Rams are doing it again. Now they're adding another piece to the defending Super Bowl champs.
Right.
Well, they had a ton of injuries, and they fell apart as a defending Super Bowl champ. But Bobby Wagner went on to have a great year. I kind of lost track of the Rams and him as that season went on last year. but he's going to turn 33 this June. He had 140 tackles last year, 6 sacks, 2 interceptions, and Pro Football Focus rated him as the best NFL linebacker on everything taken into account: pass defense, coverage, blitzing. And since 2016, he's ranked 4th, 1st, 11th, 2nd, 15th, and 1st last year. He is, over the last 5-6 years, the best linebacker in the NFL. And by the way, this year, his total rating, Pro Football Focus, remember how impressed we were with Fred Warner this year?
Mm-hmm.
He was rated 5 points behind him. Wagner with a 90.7 rating, Warner with an 85.7 rating. So,
man, that is remarkable as it relates to the numbers on that. And I'm gonna tell you guys that at 33, that's a long tooth, right? Somebody said earlier today, hey, they're kind of like the Thomas Davis situation, right? I think that's his name, for a linebacker to still continue to play that good and that well in this short stay with a team or what have you, to still generate those type of numbers. Bobby Wagner, 2022, and then 2021, Parsons. And this is in the category of linebacker, not edge, rusher. And then we see Fred Warner, Demario Davis, and then we see Bobby and Bobby again. And it seems as if, though, Bobby, when you have pieces around him, he will flourish. You know, knowledge and understanding of the game is everything. I think that the Cowboys collectively, you can't put toothpaste back into the tube easily. But collectively, we leaned on, we like our guys. Let me see it in the chat. WLOG. You know, that's what we did. And it came back to bite us in the you-know-what, because what my guy always say when we say we like our guys, meaning that we would rather build from within. And there's nothing, believe it or not, I truly believe that there's nothing wrong with that philosophy. I do. But here's the situation. You got to know how to use some of it and risk some of it, right? You got to know when to move on from said player versus locking them in. And sometimes we tend to do these things wrong. We don't move on from a player quickly, or we hold on to a player too long, or we have a contract that's in the way that you can't move on from them without getting hurt. And that's my whole philosophy, even with Ezekiel. The contract. Now, give it a situation that when we look at everything, one can argue and say, hey, well, Law, look what he's been doing in these last 2 years. It's not enough. But also, we can also look at all those alsos in there. You know, we could also say that even with those numbers, we got to contextualize the fact that everybody kind of fell off to a degree with usage with Kellen Moore. Everybody. Put it like this. Explain to me on offense what was the offensive identity last year? Can someone explain to us what was the identity of this offense? No one can do that, collectively speaking.
He played at a really high level.
You could even go back to 2014. It's been 9 straight years Bobby Wagner has been either first team or second team all-pro linebacker.
Yeah. 9
straight years, and he's barely missed a game in that time.
That's the other thing. He plays every game. He missed a couple of last year, but when he was in, he played every defensive snap. He never comes out either.
This says he started 17 last year.
Okay, I had it at 15 and 17. Maybe that was the year before.
Yeah, he played all of them.
Okay.
He played 16 the year before, 16 the year before that, 16 the year before that. Started every game.
Okay. Well, yeah, he's very versatile. He's very reliable. And the Cowboys apparently have an end. Number one, he wants to go to a contender. Say what you want about the Cowboys, but they've had back-to-back 12-4 seasons. They've got Dan Quinn, who Wagner likes. That was his coordinator in Seattle. This makes a lot of sense, but there's one thing that could hold it back. Number one, his asking price. I'm not sure what that's going to be. As the Rams, are ready to part ways with him after that productive year. They gave him $50 million over 5 years. Only so much of that was guaranteed. But maybe you could do a 3-year deal with him that would pay him around $10 million a year. And it depends on Jerry. Now, this is amazing to me.
All right, so, all right. Concessions have to be made. What are concessions? Even though I'm banging on the table for Bobby Wagner, but something got to give, right? He can't be asking for the sun and the moon and the chip, right? So, in the right philosophy and system, you can't have it all. Concessions have to be made. So, either Dan Quinn reach out to Bobby again and said, I know last year we was in the final 3. L.A. Rams, Ravens, Cowboys. Ravens got their boy. They got Roquan Smith. They got Queen over there, right? And whoever else they going to draft. Now, the Cowboys are in a unique system because do you bring back LVE? I've seen people get into arguments with me about the LVE, and this is I said this right here. I posted this video, right?
You said it was getting personal.
Don't love this stuff. You're crazy.
You said it was getting personal with
getting personal.
It got personal with Bobby Wagner.
No
like
doubt.
In the spring.
No doubt.
Presence on the outside with Von Miller, so you're going to see more of Bobby Wagner.
We'll see more of it.
Situation makes somebody travel through all the traffic.
Blitzing through that. Hey,
Bobby Wagner.
Bobby
gets
Wagner.
his second sack of the year.
6 sacks for the season, by the way.
Watch that.
A block.
If you land on the
yeah,
center,
Dikembe McWagner.
Nice Mike.
And then he knifes in there again.
Delayed blitz, Mike.
Delayed blitz time. Another one. Shooting through those gaps.
Trouble picking up pressure
against his former team. He's fired up.
And he crunk with it, y'all. All of those things. Watch how he picks them off. Hook to flat. Give it to me.
Oh, my goodness, intercepted.
To the 20. To the 10. He done.
Bobby Wagner.
Bobby Wagner.
On first down, here's Walker.
By Bobby Wagner.
Let me pause it right here. Buried him, right? So, my guy Donnie over here says, nah, he way past his prime. I would rather keep LVE, Leighton Vander Esch. And, I kind of laughed at the response, but he was like, it's true. And then I said, where is LVE on this list? Highest graded, by last season, what have you. And he says, dude, he's younger. He's been playing in the system for 3 years. And playing well. Don't get obsessed over who is a player was or by name, basically. And if Dallas is going to spend money in the free agency, go get a wide receiver and a cornerback. You can draft good, cheap linebackers. It's not a premium position, right? And basically, I can't help but to laugh. And some people agree with me. Only a spoonful of people that's commenting under that chat there. But what I'm trying to say is I'm not trying to call guy out or anything. But Bobby Wagner, in my opinion, he knows the Quinn system like the back of his hand. And Donnie, I get with what he's saying, but LVE is a free agent. Free. So he's going to cost you at least $3 to maybe $7 million. And based upon the last season that he had, he going to want some good money. He ain't going to want $2.5 million again. You might as well, it would be better to package up some money to pay Bobby Wagner versus giving LVE that money and going into the draft and bringing in another guy, right? You bring in Bobby Wagner, right? Because you can spread the money out, especially by it being a 3-year deal. You can put some other guarantees in there and hear me out. You will have a better defense versus a unknown, because LVE is unknown territory of what he's going to look like week to week. That's just the bottom line. That's just the bottom line. I can't stress this out enough. 2 INTs, 6 sacks, and on top of that, I think the PFF had a grade of like 91, but I'm not even counting that. I'm talking about the forced stops, the tackles that you are able to get before they get 6 or 7 yards down the field. His average tackle depth is right at 1.5 yards, close to 2, juxtaposed to LVE 6 or 7 yards. Nevertheless, let's listen to more what they have to say.
This is in Michael Gelkin's article about this whole thing about Wagner being available and the Cowboys' interest level, that this week the NFL Players Association held a virtual presentation in which information about club spending was shared with contract advisors. And according to the Dallas Morning News, they obtained info that said the NFLPA listed which franchises were the highest and the lowest cash spenders on players in recent years. At $147 million in 2022, no owner spent less cash on players than Jerry Jones. I'm going to repeat that. No owner spent less cash on players in 2022 than Jerry Jones.
Let's listen to more what they have to say about this. But one thing I can tell you guys, a lot of people were saying in this piece right here, who's cheaper? Who's cheaper, by the way? I think unless he deleted it. Show more replies. Yeah. Who's cheaper? Basically, and I it could have been on my other post, on my Instagram post. Like, when you go the cheap route, sometimes you can spend more money trying to be cheap. I was watching a video the other day about a contractor. A guy needed some work done in his backyard, and he got a quote from a guy that it was going to be $10,000 to be completed. This contracting work, right? And he's like, in contracting world, they got a rule, like they say, rule of 2, right? You never want to dance with the first proposal. But then he went and asked someone else to deliver a proposal for him, and he said, yeah, I can get it done for $13,000. I mean, $3,000, I meant to say. I can get it done for $3,000. And he was like, well, this other guy charging me 10, I'm going to go the cheaper route. He ended up going with the cheaper route, the $3,000 work of contracting supplies and stuff for his backyard. True story, by the way. End up doing the whole overlay, everything wrong, not up to code. So he got angry and frustrated with it, but he had to live with it. So he went back to the guy that gave him the quote of $10,000, and he asked him, "Hey, you remember you gave me a quote of $10,000 for this work that need to be done in the backyard? Is there a way that you can do it for $10,000 now?" And then contractor said, "Yeah, let me go out and check it and look over everything." He went out and checked it and looked over everything and said, "Yeah, I can do all of this for $16,000. And he said, whoa, you quoted me $10,000. Why all of a sudden I got to pay $16,000? Well, the other contractor, I got to fix what he did wrong. So sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, true story, you can do things cheaper and think that you can get things done by doing it cheaper, but it costs you more money down the line. When all he had to do was just pay the $10,000 up front earlier, and all would have been good. Sometimes when you look at life, it is exactly for what it is. This is Coach Marv. Law, didn't I say to you about cash flow problems wanted in 2022? Yeah, you did say, hey, woo.
Years.
Let me rewind.
Info that said the NFLPA listed which franchises were the highest and the lowest cash spenders on players in recent years. At $147 million in 2022, no owner spent less cash on players than Jerry Jones. I'm going to repeat that. No owner spent less cash on players in 2022 than Jerry Jones. The franchise that produces all of that revenue with, we all know what Jerry's got his hands into, and the revenue that they generate on a game day, and with all of the sponsorships and everything the Cowboys have, the owner who says, hey, I'd do anything to win a Super Bowl.
The Wildcatter.
The guy who's always taking all these risks.
The Wildcatter.
And taking a step further, the last 2 years, only the Falcons and Bears have had lower cash spending the last 2 years than the Cowboys in combined spending. Last 2 years combined spending, Cowboys at 364, Falcons at 296, Bears at 314. But everyone else in the NFL has spent more than Jerry. This is amazing. And I would think when fans start hearing this, especially the ones that are shelling out $400 for a ticket every Sunday for a home game, $150 for parking, $15 beers or $20 margaritas, $12 hamburgers. Are you kidding me? How could that possibly be?
Are they in any way using the Mavericks excuse for the last 10 years, keeping our powder dry?
And we've been spending so much. We've been out there giving these big contracts, and we're just going to cut back for a couple of years. I understand some of it, and that's why they got rid of Jalen Smith. And I think this year they should. I don't know if they will. I think this offseason should be a bit of a longtime veteran cleansing for the Cowboys.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe they've been spending too much the wrong way over the last few years. You mentioned Jalen Smith and Zeke Elliott, and you could throw the Dak deal in there that they got cornered into giving him probably more than he should get or more than they wanted to give him. Maybe that's why they've cut back, because they've spent poorly for a long time.
Yeah, maybe so. And the Cowboys can't do anything about Bobby Wagner until free agency starts here in a couple of weeks. But if he's out there, there's going to be other teams interested too, other good teams that are interested, obviously. But I would think the Cowboys would be first in line. And I do think it's time that the Cowboys said goodbye to Zeke. I know it hurts, but Tyron Smith, Dalton Schultz, maybe Leighton Vander Esch too. And at some point we've got to figure out, and I'm sure the Cowboys have this number in their mind, what's he worth? I know you weren't a big fan. I heard a lot of other detractors of LVE this year. Some said that he really had a good year. I just know this. I would make Bobby Wagner a higher priority than getting LVE re-signed to the...
All right, so that was his thoughts and his report on that. Shout out to my guy Outlaw Cowboy too. I greatly appreciate everything LVE done for us, but this combo is something we all need to see materialize. Dan Quinn would have a field day deploying both of these monsters on the field together. And yes, all right, so the whole contract situation with Ezekiel Elliott. Now, granted, we talked about this last night on the late night hype type of stuff. Oh, my bad. The last word. My bad. The final word. I'm all everywhere, but hold on. Here we go right here, guys.
Before after that Lions game, the explosive twitch that you're talking about.
The explosive twitch still has diminished over the last 2 years. He was better before the knee injury. I know where you're getting that, Law. He was better.
Right.
But the twitch had still slowed down over the last couple of seasons. And when you look at that,
why can't you just accept the facts if you know where you're getting at?
No, I'm accepting that he was faster before the knee injury, of course. Yes, he was quicker before the knee injury.
That's all I wanted to know.
Yeah, he was.
Good job,
however,
Good job.
However, over the last two seasons, the facts don't lie, Boss Cowboy. The data does not lie. And the eye in the sky does not lie. Right. And if you look at Ezekiel Elliott and his running style and his productivity, it has been on a significant decline since that time. He is no longer elusive in the hole. He is no longer able to separate and to explode for even 15-yard gains. He can't even explode like he used to for 15-yard gains.
All right, so I can't play that part of it. But what I'm going to tell you guys right now, check out this video on my Twitter. I mean, it's going crazy, man. So many people got their thoughts about it, and I have a few of the people to also retweet it within the Cowboys community. So what I did was shout out to Cowboys for Life. He did I'm talking about a great chop up of Ezekiel Elliott, and it's with all of his plays as far as what he did last season is highlighted plays, by the way, and you can take a real good look at that to see whether or not, my guy, the OC was right on the money with this. Case in point, I'm going to say this again until I'm Cowboys blue in the face. The Dallas Cowboys, there's nothing wrong with moving on from Ezekiel Elliott, because I know a lot of people got selective hearing. There's absolutely nothing wrong with moving on from him. Just make sure you know how to replenish what you're moving on from. And also, do not, in my opinion, franchise tag Tony Pollard. Why? Because with the franchise tag, there's $10 million that's going to be gone from your cap immediately, and it's going to close out any possibility or chances of you signing more and more guys to help out your team. I'm against the franchise tag. I'm 1,000% against it. I didn't like when they franchise tagged D-Law twice, and I for dog sure didn't like when they franchise tagged Dak Prescott twice. For those who say, hey, Law, we need money, dog. We need some money. We need to change. The Cowboys, when they have the money.
Stop, thief! Come back, thief!
Stop it. They don't know what to do with it. They get shocked that they have all of this money, disposable money, and they don't know what to do but go back into WLOG. We like our guys. Philosophy. Meaning that they sit back and they freeze. We had $94 million. $94 million in 2019. Hell of a lot of cap space to go out there and do some things to make it shake. But we didn't make it shake or rain at all. They signed a franchise tag on Rain Dakota Prescott, right? They really cut that in half, over half. And when they look back at everything, they said the whole year, we got to figure out who we going to pay. We got to figure out who we going to keep. We got to figure out X, Y, and Z. And they held all of y'all feet to the fire. And I'm telling you guys once again that this particular team don't know how to finesse the money. We just seen a team go all the way to the Super Bowl. They were a Jalen Hurts fumble away from winning it all. And they did it with $22 million, right, on the people they went and grabbed. Can you imagine if they had $94 million available? Come on, y'all. It don't make sense. So what I'm trying to say here, ladies and gentlemen, don't fall for the trick of, hey, dog, hey, man, we need some money, dog. Because what they going to do is, with that money, instead of going out there and paying for a day run paint, right? Breaking news, the Dallas Cowboys now signed Benito Jones. He's going to put him down inside as the interior guy. He just needed a chance and an opportunity. And now that he's on the Dallas Cowboys, look out, right? And it will have more clicks, more visible evidence than any other thing. Right? You know? So that's just the reality of it. So the mismanagement of the funds and of the money cloud the minds and judgments of these players, right? People laugh at me. Worth does not mean operating cash. You can get around the salary with cash upfront bonuses. Numbers don't lie. Yes, the cash is different from the cap. And a lot of times you have, it'll take me a full episode and show because I don't want to misquote the guidelines with the operating cash. You can actually pocket the cash money and you can live without the cap. But that's a whole nother storyline, y'all. I'm not finna get into that. But shout out to you, Coach Marv. I got with what you said, and I got that article that you sent me a couple of years ago about that topic. Right, whereas, a lot of people trying to front load some money in these sorts of things. They don't know how. They just don't want to. No, Tyrone, you said, they do know how. They just don't want to. Now, that's a whole nother conversation and a half right there, Tyrone. Yeah. Yeah, that's right, Coach Marv. The Cowboys fans have been buying that Steven been selling them. Yeah, so the we like our guys' philosophy. But should there be better days ahead of us? Yeah, there should be. But B-Bird, I feel you, man, on this topic right here. I got no grounds to fight you on this one right here, though, B-Bird. Yeah. And that is a brilliant point, by the way. But before I get into more details, and we'll open up the phone lines in a few, but what I want to do is go over this right quick before it skipped my mind. Shout out to Big Game James. Shout out to DMV and my guy Jay Tuck last night for going over this guy right here. And I think Banks is a real good defensive back. We did this last night. We talked about a few of the guys that can help this team out tremendously. And I want to go over this. And shout out to you before we go. We don't wipe these 304s, says James Washington. Yes, indeed. Let's look into this film. First and foremost, I like to tell you guys, anytime we see a press cover corner, I like this right here, the ability to erase the opposition and watch, shield, get there, side there, and pick this out. That's in phase. That is a big DB, by the way. Deontay Banks. This is the film analysis that we did earlier today, this morning, about his skill set and beyond. I'm looking for dog nasty mentalities, too. I'm looking for someone that can control the punch right here. Watch how he squeeze, erase. Get him up out of the jam, not giving the guy a free release, walk him back, have him moonwalking. Those are things that I look for out of a young DB. The ability to be scrappy, to play down inside, hip to hip, stay with leverage, get that ball back, fight toward the ball, come back to the ball, and these sorts of things. Boundary technique, squeeze them on the out of sides right there. Use the sideline as your friend and get your head around to the ball. Watch it. Squeeze them. Use the boundary as your friend. Y'all see that right here, baby? Oh, don't y'all see that? And that's what I like to see. Shield them off. Physical. Squeeze them right now. There's two defenders right there. One being the out boundary and one being yourself, but you got to squeeze him toward that sideline and look back to the ball. Hey, even on a route that he kind of lose with, watch how he flip his hips, get back into it, and come back to the ball. Watch this. Yeah. Come back to the ball. There we go. Cut down on it. I love when I see that. And we're seeing it again. Get beat on over the top, but still fight through the echoes of the whistle. No safety help over the top. Safety help late there. What? Poorly thrown ball, by the way. But you still fight for it and get that ball up out of there. Still look back to the ball. I love when I seen this out of Banks' tape, and I like what he brings to the table. I really believe that the Cowboys should, that's the operative word, should find a defensive back, a physical defensive back to put on this team. Wrap tackle right here, come down the field, not allowing the opposition to get this first down right here. I like what I'm seeing out of this kid. The aggressive mentality, the physicality, I like it. He put check marks in all of those boxes. But before we go into other details about this, ladies and gentlemen, hear me out. Hear me out too. None of these guys are finished products, by the way. Every DB that's going to get drafted in the 2023 draft, every one of them going to get burnt at least once or twice or even more. And they're going to go through some growing pains, and there are going to be some techniques that they're going to have to clean up. Now, this boundary right here, once the body is out of bounds, he can really just stop on the play. He squeezed him enough to get him out of bounds and shoot. That's what I want, physicality. Being able to shield off. I love boundary skill set DBs because they know how to play with leverage. They know how to understand to get back to the ball. He could have caught this one for a pick, but inside, stride for stride, I would live with this one. In phase right here, y'all. Look, hip to hip. He followed the head to it, and then he almost had that one. He owed me some push-ups on that one. He had to give me some push-ups. Get off of your block. Ain't nobody gonna give you an excuse. You can't get off of your block. They're gonna say, hey, did you hit the weight room this week? The weight room is necessary. Young DBs, the weight room is necessary. You should be able to do 225 more than 10 times. Get your weight up, right? Young DBs, instead of being out there lollygagging, dissipating, pussyfooting, what old folks say, get in that weight room. Throw that 225 around. That's the reason why. Don't be chasing skirts. Get out there and get in that weight room. That's what you need to do. Squeeze. Look at it. Squeeze right here. Shielding. Discipline. Track the ball. I love what I'm seeing out of Banks right here, y'all. I really do. I really do. It's you versus him. Yeah. Oh, right here. He gonna switch off into a zone look right here. I love it. This cover 3 right here. Yep. Get there, come back to the ball, fight, play through the echoes of the whistle. Noble's royalty. You know what I'm talking about from the country. You know. Shout out to you, Noble royalty. You know what I mean. You know, get out of there. Get that ball. Good skills. Good skills. Yes, indeed. And this is against a good team at Ohio State. They told me to look at this game, and it was pretty good against Ohio State. And look at this. Blitz off the edge right there, get down inside. This is my favorite look right here. Hip to hip, stride to stride. I love off-ball production, too. What you doing when no one else is looking? Hey, he come back. He's sitting on that route. Stop route. Get down there. Claw in there. Gina says, all right, this is my favorite play right here when you're talking about eraser. Why the pencil need the eraser? To make corrections, right? Physicality. So I'm going to erase this dude out of the play. Quarterback would not feel comfortable going to him, even though it's a run play. Look at him fighting, playing through the echoes of the whistle. Erase a tie, baby, for your mind. Jerry Jones is a risk taker. counting his money. This is from Donnell Reed. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you, man. Hey, to catch this full analysis and film session, check it out. It's on my YouTube page and it's on my Facebook. And appreciate y'all so much, man, for tuning in for that one. All right, so for sake of time, right quick, let's go ahead and open it up for the phone calls. Give me your thoughts. Give me your things that you have on your mind before we head into this weekend.
Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for me, down for
Only the ones who down for me, baby. Let's make it quick. Appreciate y'all. It's 5 o'clock. Mama said there'll be days just like this, right? I normally don't even be live right about now. Come on.
There are 3 participants in the conference. Please announce yourself. All participants are muted.
The phone lines won't stay open long, so jump on in. Enjoy y'all Friday. I know y'all getting the 2-for-1s together. You know, I know y'all are. All right, and don't forget, every day under the videos, leave me your top 5, your top 10 prospects. Leave me people that you would like for me to go over, look over. Next Thursday, of course, Law will be gone, and I may or may not do any content, but I'm always working, believe it or not. I'm always looking at some thread of film when I have my spare time. So please come up with your detailed list, regardless of whether he's at JSU, shout out to Jackson State, you know, or if he's at HBCU in general. If you got film tape on that person, let me know. Shoot it over to me. If you got all 22 films, shoot it over to my DM on Twitter or shoot me an email at info@lawnationsports.com. That's my new email address, info@lawnationsports.com. You know, I'm trying to get corporate law over here now, so there's no more Gmail. So info@lawnationsports.com. You know, that's my email address. So be sure to address me there, and I will be able to look at your film analysis and film session. Draco, he says it's time for real risk. Trade Diggs for Detroit's first and second, maybe even second and first. Maybe even 2 firsts, I meant to say. Draft a cornerback. Whoa. Let me see if I can put all of this on the screen. He says, all right, so let me see. Draft a CBRB, WR, and sign a veteran wide receiver. Don't have to pay Diggs, and we get 3 young studs and a vet. Who agree with Draco? You know what I mean? God, dog, man. You know, Draco, God, dog, man. Dog, man. You know, Draco, man. You know, Diggs my boy, man. But we do like our guys, man. But do he get the shame? Now you spent $19.99, and I really appreciate you so much for your love and adulations for the nation, though. You know what I do. But do he get the shame button, or do y'all applaud this brother right here? Do y'all applaud him, or do he get the shame? I'm gonna let y'all decide what would be the next move from here. Out of love, though, Drake. Yeah, out of love, Draco. You know what I'm saying? No, trade dig. Draco got it, bro. Okay, Abe. They agree with you, Draco. I think I see a lot of people agree with you, man. you know. He don't get the crack. He don't get the crack. Nah. I applaud Draco because he's making me think, though. You know, he's making me think over here. So where my applaud button at? God dog, Draco. Somebody said shame him too.
Shame.
Can we do both?
Shame. Shame.
We doing both, Draco. We doing both, man. I don't know, man. Look, I see what you're saying. See if we can get as much as possible out of a guy. and I think teams did this before. It's not an unknown philosophy, right? But, man, we'll be 4-3. I see you, Richard. Man, let me get these. Appreciate you, Draco. I'm going to keep that up there, man. I'm going to let y'all think on that, man. You know, I got Coach Marv. Maybe he can put something on my mind with this, man. Talk to me, Coach Marv. Would you trade your best DB?
No, I wouldn't, but I'm glad somebody brought that up because I got 3 interesting points for you, Law. Then I'm going to let you go.
All right.
Well, I can move this. I can move this up because I was going to talk about Diggs. We need to read behind the lines on what Diggs talked about. He want his brother to play with him and all this thing about Dallas. Mm-hmm. It's easier for him to get to Buffalo than it is for his brother to get to Dallas.
True.
And if you don't sign Diggs and give him his extension this off season, and he goes into the season, he will be in Buffalo the next year because the pull of him taking a tad bit less to play with his brother in Buffalo, unless we go way overboard to sign him, he'll be in Buffalo. If we allow it to get to that season, he gonna wait his time, and those brothers will be playing together. That's the bottom line of it. So we have already got the warning shot that say we want to play together. But it's easier in the next year for him to be in Buffalo than for us to ante up everything.
Well, let me ask you this though, and that's a good point. Draco opened up my mind to this, and you are right now. So with the 20, would you receive a first and a third for Trevon Diggs now and draft a DB? So I think the Bills got the 24th pick or something like that.
No, I wouldn't. The reason I wouldn't do that is because it goes back because we are emotionally damaged as a fan base. We are too close to the window, and what can stop all of that is that if you make that decision to sign him, but if you go farther, 2 more steps in the playoffs and get to a Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl, then all that's off the board. Then I want to go to Buffalo and leave a championship team. Then all that's out the window now. But you just got to win, and you just got to keep on going and winning to solve a lot of those problems about, I want to go there because once you win in Dallas, it's going to be the best thing that ever happened to you because you're a superstar forever. So that was. I'm glad you said that about Diggs. Right. The other point is about there's been a lot of talk about Ezekiel Elliott. I'm tired of fighting the people about Ezekiel Elliott. The film doesn't lie. Ezekiel Elliott is not as bad as people want to portray it.
Right.
But if I say this, the Dallas Cowboys have kind of showed the direction they're going, and I think our fan base is missing the boat because we're trying to edge our way back to pass happy, and that's just our mentality. We say the run game is good, but we really don't really believe in it. But all the research has showed how much better we are, and I think McCarthy has heard that, and I think all the stuff about him talking about how many touches he wanted to get Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard during the year. I think that they said to themselves that they're going to get someone that can better suit what makes them good. They went out and got a run game coordinator. You changed the offensive line coach. You changed the running back coach. You put everything in place, even a West Coast offense that's going to be running back friendly, and you're going to lean on running backs. So going all rookies and running back, where you're going to change this whole philosophy, I believe that the Cowboys have a philosophy, and that's where they're going. Not saying they're going to be run first or 3 yards and cloud of dust,
right?
But I believe they're going to depend on this run game to make Dak more efficient and put him in a better place to be more successful. That's where all the tea leaves are showing about the coaching moves that they have made. We need to see that, and we need to get on board with that as a fan base. Because that's where the coaching moves have moved. They didn't move to those passing thing. Right. They removed that and replaced it with guys that have been known to put in good run combinations
They did.
and use the run.
Yeah.
So that's where they're going. Last thing, Law, right quick.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody laughed at me. I talked to a lot of people last year. They laughed at me because they say, "Oh man, how in the world?" No, man, not the $10 billion Cowboys. Well, let me tell you something, Law. Worth don't mean operating capital. And this is where a lot of teams do. You're gonna probably see this with Rams. You're gonna probably see this with the Rams. The Rams would not probably go out and sign a lot of people and pay big cash money up front this year. They did that for 2 years. They're not in the job. You're not become billionaires for every year you're going out there signing big free agents and renegotiating contracts and throwing $200 million worth of signing bonuses up front to service a team.
Right.
No team does that. That's not smart business. But I believe the Cowboys may be in line to do it this year because in 21 they spent over $100 million in Dak Prescott, paying him within 6 month span. They renegotiated Ezekiel Elliott contract. They spent a lot of upfront money in 21, and I knew in 22 they were not going to do that, and they didn't. And they may do it in 23. They may go out in 23, but there's some things that happen that, we need to think about. And I don't think we think about it because we say, oh, man, they're the $10 billion company. But they had a big announcement one day. And, Law, you had on your thing, you said, oh, man, there must be a big announcement about football. And, no, they said they were doing this massive announcement.
Yeah.
And what was that massive announcement was?
Blockchain.
They were going into what?
Blockchain.
They were going to be the crypto Cowboys. Didn't they say that?
Yeah, they did say that.
How much that lost in the last year?
Oh my gosh.
and they didn't go on the side. They ain't going in halfway either.
They make some money, man. Hands over fist, man. This is a money pumping machine. The Dallas Cowboys.
There we go. And this is what I'm saying. They didn't become billionaires without saying we divert cash.
Right.
And being and to get over any salary cap, if you want to get over it, if you want to push it out, you want to make a contract fit, it's about how much money you're gonna put up. They already got spent $30 million this year because if they don't give Dak a restructure or they give him an extension, it's gonna cost them about $35 million to free up the cap room that they want. That's gonna happen. If they keep Dak, they're gonna have to do that. So Dak already know he's gonna get a payday about $35 million up front. That's the only way they're gonna be able to operate. This is what they're gonna do. They may do it with a couple of other players, but they're not in the business of giving upfront money. They want the money to come in, and then they dish it out doing with the salaries as the year come in. Well, that's fine. That's what good business people do. They're not in the business of giving upfront money, big time upfront money, and waiting on a return later on.
Man, you on the money, man. Appreciate you, Coach Marv. I'm gonna go back and do some more research and investigation on that. And I thank you, man. You enjoy your weekend.
All right.
Yes, indeed.
Man, enjoy your time off, Law.
No doubt. Appreciate you. That's Coach Marv, y'all. All right, man. All right. Draco again, he says, exactly, Coach, the writing is on the wall, and that's why we have to trade him now. So get better doing it. You trade when there's valuable, when they value in there, basically. And then Apes, he co-signed with you, Draco. Draco, you got some fans in here, man. You got some fans in here for real. So Draco said, beam me up, man. I'm gonna beam him up on the list right here because he said beam him up, man. So I'm gonna beam him up so he can explain himself. I got on the call Draco from the 903. What's good, man?
What's up, man? Can you hear me all right?
Oh, I can hear you, man. I can hear you all right, man. Talk to me.
I know everybody thinks it's crazy, right? But we already in a cap bind. We're going to be in a cap bind for a little while. Diggs is going to want a lot of money.
Yeah.
He ain't going to stay in Dallas, or he's going to hit us for so much money we can't, get players elsewhere. This draft, is full of corners,
True.
it's full of wide receivers, and there's a couple of really good running backs. What do we need to make Dak better? Wide receiver, running back. We can replace him at corner, not have to pay him in a year and a half, and move on. And actually, Detroit also has, I believe, pick 9, and that's one I'd be after.
Ooh wee! Oh my gosh! All right, so here's where my football mind. I got to get that out, right? My you already know I'm about to hit.
Emotional damage.
I got to hit that for myself because I know what life looked like with horrible DBs on both sides, right? And you do know that as well. But there is the unknown, right? Because a DB can look great. He can look really great from college tape. But then he gets here and then, you know, either he can be an A.J. Terrell, Diggs, or he can be what's on the most of, you know, of other DBs that we've seen drafted early, right? Bottom of the league. So,
I'm drafting, honestly, though, I'm drafting a corner, wide receiver, and running back high, but I'm also drafting another corner.
Who's your DB?
Out of
pick number 9. Pick number 9, who you getting?
Man, I hadn't really decided, man. I've been going through the draft picks, and there's a couple of really good corners, but I think if we draft 2 in the top, 100 picks, maybe just a little outside the 100, we've got McQuamu, who I think is going to be good on the outside. He's a big, long corner. We got our boy inside that took over this year, and then we draft 2 corners. Something's going to hit on the outside, man. And I trust our defensive coordinator. And we get out from under a massive contract that's coming.
I'm trying to think of a team that did that, though. You know, was it Marcus Peters? Did the team get rid of Marcus Peters after he had a phenomenal years or what have you? What team did he originally was on? Do you know?
So.
Yeah, did they do that with him? I don't think this has never been done. It's been done before, y'all. So, and it's a situation.
Y'all remember Terrence Newman, right?
Yeah, I remember him.
Remember Terrence Newman?
Yeah.
We held on too damn long when we could have got a whole lot of help by trading him. And it's going to happen with Diggs, too. Plus, we overpaid him, and it's going to happen with Diggs, too.
Man, I really don't have room to debate you with that because I know for sure that Diggs going to want a lot of money, right? He's not going to come play for cheap. I've seen how his brother played or what have you for around with the contract. And I do agree with Coach Marv that it's stronger possibility that the Bills would pick him up juxtaposed to the Cowboys. So Newman ain't on Diggs' level. This from Al Kareem. Somebody said that in the chat. Chiefs did that. They did do that. They got multiple picks from some other team by moving on from Marcus Peters. I don't know, man. I just look at it like this. There's a time to move on from guys, and then there are times that you got to keep guys. So with your philosophy, Draco, I really got no rebuttal, man. You got me speechless with this one because you bringing in some good hard facts. Maybe I'll phone a friend or somebody that can steer me otherwise. But I appreciate you for calling in, and I thank you for your support.
Yes, sir. How about them Cowboys?
How about him, man? He shut me down because I don't have enough resources to counter right now. I don't. Outside of being in the area of the unknown, I would take an L. He beat me on that debate right there. I came back on tape and said, hey, nobody can out debate me on that one because he's literally saying the same thing that Coach Marv is saying, right? The only way I would debate that would be this right here, ladies and gentlemen. If he was talking about Parsons, right? I think that Parsons is generational, right? Generational talent. I think that, of course, we can look back at this and say, hey, if he had this conversation with Parsons, I would have hit him with the you must be out of your god doggone mind. But the only I would have hit him with this one.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
But I'm looking at all of this and saying, how can we get some value out of guys instead of getting rid of them or getting rid of them for nothing or going the same route that we went before? Let me lock these lines up.
The conference has been locked.
And the route that we went before was this right here, ladies and gentlemen. We wait to the end of life of contract, and then we put the franchise tag on them. That's been our calling card. That's all we know what to do. But let me let my guy J May talk me into something. 774. Talk to me, man.
Law, how are you doing, my brother?
I'm doing great, man.
Well, yeah, and man, Draco, I think he's got a good point, man. But if there's one position you really don't want to get rid of, man, that's a shutdown corner, man, because they're really hard to come by. You know what I'm saying?
They are.
So unless you can get a really good draft pick and then maybe sign a free agent with maybe equal talent, like a Ramsey, then I guess. But other than that, man, Diggs, you gotta hold on to him because, like you said before, man, having two cornerbacks that are playing and that ain't up to the game, man, and that's not good for the defense because now just gonna run up the points.
Yeah. Unless you just look at it like, man, I get some offensive weapons, it's gonna be a shootout. We go back to shootout style, man.
For sure. Yeah, and one of my quick points I was gonna make too, man, is Jerry's gotta let go of his ego, man. He's gotta let go of his ego. The past 20 plus, I'm going on 30 years. He's trying to do the whole homegrown Super Bowl thing, and it hasn't worked out. I mean, he's drafted some great players, but that's not doing it. So he's gotta let go of his ego and just start opening up that bank, and then just a couple players away, so we can just keep it going past the first round.
Yeah.
You know. And look, before you let me go, man, I just want to say thank you, bro. You got me out of a ticket yesterday, my brother. I appreciate it, man.
Oh, wow. What happened, bro? What happened? Let me guess. The police officer pulled you over.
Yeah, I got pulled over, man. I wasn't paying. I wasn't paying attention. I turned on the red, and he seen me. I turned the volume down. I was listening to one of your shows, and he seen you on the screen. He goes, "That Law Nation?"
Oh.
I said, yeah. Listen to the Law right now, man. It's one of your podcasts. He goes, "Oh, all right, man." He goes, "Just pay attention, keep your eyes on the road, man. I'll let you ride."
Oh, wow.
Ride, so I appreciate that's you right there, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Anytime, man. Hey, I love the storyline right there, man. Appreciate you, man. That's a good one right there. Yes, indeed. That's JB, man. I'm internationally known now. Oh, but what state you in, by the way, though? Before
I'm in Massachusetts. I'm about maybe 40 minutes outside of Boston.
Man, my goodness, man. Appreciate you, man. I'm all the way in Boston too, man. Appreciate you, JB.
Yeah, appreciate you, brother.
Yes, indeed. I thought I said a storyline before. A police officer pulled me over, and I didn't have my seatbelt on, right? So he pulled me over, and I was saying that sometimes when you get pulled over by the officer, you don't have to be mad and angry and upset. I thought he was going to go that angle, right? Oh, my gosh, man. But the police officer pulled me over. Quick story. He pulled me over, and I said, dog, he must be pulling me over because I didn't have my seatbelt on. So by the time he made it to my window, I said, man, thank God, officer. He was like, whoa, what's going on? I said, you reminded me that I need my seatbelt on. And you never know, man. I could have turned the corner and hit something. I would have been flying through the windshield. God bless you, man, for the man in the blue. You know what I'm saying? Y'all helped me out so much. I thought that he was going to go that route, whereas he talked glowingly of the officer. And the officer said, you know what? Just keep that seatbelt on next time. You know what I mean? Put your seatbelt on next time. And he just let me go. So I thought he was going to go that route. But by him getting pulled over and listening to the nation, baby, and being able to get out of a ticket all the way in Boston, man, hey, man, that goes a long way, man. I really appreciate you so much, man. I do. Landlord from Alabama, my dog, man, he says, what's up, Law? Trading Diggs is crazy talk, in my opinion. Trey is young and is at the top of his position. Yeah, with double exclamation mark. You can't definitively name 5 DBs better CB pay the man now. So, Landlord, I agree with you too. I agree. That's only if the Cowboys pay this dude now. But if they wait to the end of the year and they don't pay that man, Diggs going to be asking for that sun and the moon. Yep. And what's Little Diggs' son name? Even his son, I can see a video now. My daddy want the money, and Dallas Cowboys are not paying the money, so therefore it's Bill Mafia. You know what's Trevon Diggs' son name? Aiden. Yeah, Aiden gonna have a whole commercial talking about Bill's Mafia. You know, and I'm for real. You know, so the Cowboys better do something. No shame at Aiden. You know, I'm not making fun of him, but that's just how it's gonna go for real. So y'all better pay the man. I got B Bird and I got D Shift and Swayze. B Bird, you live.
What's up, Law?
What's good? Oh, yeah.
Hey,
wait a minute before you go into details. Do you listen to what Draco said? You know what I'm saying?
Are you talking about me?
Yeah. Would you buy into what Draco is saying?
As far as Diggs?
Yeah.
Oh, heck no.
Okay.
First of all, the caller previous, he needs to fatten up your super chat since he got that ticket. Just a little tip.
Appreciate it.
So when you draft a player, first, second round, coaches, fans, everybody said, man, if he could be a Pro Bowler, that'd be great. Man, if he could be all pro, man, that'd be good. So he gets that, and now we want to trade him. He's everything that we want in the draft, man. I mean, why are we trading good players? I don't understand that. We get a good player, value, and then we start talking about, okay, but if we sign him, we're not going to be able to sign any other free agents. We haven't signed a primetime free agent since Brandon Carr. So who's to say that we're going to be like Dirk Nowitzki, people taking less money to help the team, and Dirk never got back to the championship. Man. And so who trusted Joneses to do that, man? Nobody's taking less money in Dallas. For what? Who are they going to bring in? When have they brought anybody else in for people taking less money? It doesn't happen in Dallas. And that brings me to the point, man.
Hold on before you go any further, B-Bird. You whooping my butt over here, and Draco whooping my butt. Both of y'all are beating me up because I have no rebuttal. I'm getting squeezed today. So you bringing it? Oh my gosh, I wasn't even ready for that. Like all pro, and you just pull out the resume, right? That's what you're doing. Yeah. You just showing the resume and saying, why not pay for that? What you mean?
Well, what Draco is doing is thinking that, hey, we just go draft another Diggs. Those guys don't grow on trees. Diggs is what you hope for when you draft a guy. And you think you just go get it. Well, that's a good prospect. How many prospects came in and flopped in the league, man? This guy not only is not flopping, he's one of the best cover corners in the league, man. We're not letting that go. And people look at it, well, he didn't tackle. That's recency bias, y'all. This guy shut down one side of the field all year. Those throws y'all saw those other cornerbacks getting beat deep, they didn't throw that to the left side and get beat deep. So what I'm trying to tell y'all, man, is we got a jewel in this guy. Stop trying to get rid of our good players. I've been hearing people talking about trading Martin. Are you crazy? He's still one of the top 2 guards in the league. How are we going to win trading off? Look, let me tell you this, man. You could trade your first-round picks in every draft and get 10 seventh-round picks. But 7th-round picks don't win you games, y'all. The prime-time guys win you games. We got prime-time players that people are trying to trade. I just don't get it, man. And so, Lord, that ain't the reason I call you, man.
Oh, okay. Woo! I mean, you beat me up with the facts, man. I love this beatdown because now I can listen it from a different perspective. You know, I always say if there's one thing a man should always do is mainly to himself stay true. Never allow a man to change his point of view unless what he brings make sense to you. So you guys are making a lot of sense on both sides. So now you steered me back into the middle right here and just go off of his resume, which I didn't even think to have that as a rebuttal. I was thinking about the Cowboys in general. When they have a player like Diggs, what they tend to do, they tend to not pay him earlier, right? They hold his feet to the fire and his chaos left and right. I was thinking more of that side of it, but the way you presented it, man, it's golden to me right now. But go ahead.
Yeah. So man, I work for a Fortune 500 company, a big corporation, and right now the stock has been as high as it ever has been. They're printing money, man. So you would think that in this corporation that okay, the money's flowing. No, what they're doing, they're cutting back, combining jobs. They're doing a whole bunch of even though the revenue is high, they're lowering the fixed costs at the same time. Well, this is what businesses do. And the Cowboys are interested in maintaining relevance just enough, man, to keep this cash flow going, y'all. They're not. When's the last time the Cowboys have went out and upgraded in a position? Now, what they have done is lost players and replaced them. I think Boss said that.
Mm-hmm.
But they have not upgraded in the positions in a long time. What they're doing, man, is they're really playing a game with the public. What they're doing is so a Super Bowl team, for them to say, hey, we want to maintain what we got because we're going to make another run at it, anybody else should be improving their team.
Right.
The Cowboys function as though the goal is to make the playoffs, be relevant, make a good run at it, and then that's it. That's how they stack their team. They don't stack their team to, hey, the 49ers are either team B, we got to get better personnel than those guys so we can make a run at it. They don't stack it like that. They stack it as though what's going to get us 10 or 11 wins,
right,
get us in the playoffs, and keep this money machine rolling. One thing that Coach Mobb said earlier is that everybody, the laymen, think that, hey, salary cap is this. The salary cap is a myth, y'all. You could front load money. You could do a lot of different things to get people in. And this organization, it's not that they don't know to do it. They don't want to do it. The reason I think that they don't want to do it is because you have a GM and a vice president that is their money. You know, people say, well, it's not my money. I don't care how. No, it is their money.
It is their money.
It's actually their money. And so when you have a GM and it's not the GM's money, he's trying to get somebody there to save his job. He's like, oh, I need Wagner. Why? These guys ain't going to give me but another year to turn his team around. Jerry, them are the guy that need Wagner, but they're also the guy that got to pay him.
Right.
So they're not motivated to do that, man. You got to have somebody. That's why this whole structure is off, y'all. Because we have the people that have to make the decision on getting the players are the same people that have to actually pay the players. That should not be the structure, and that's why we hadn't gotten anyone since Brandon Carr, man. So what I'm just trying to tell y'all is y'all got to. And I'm telling you, Law, you closing in on 100,000, man. That's why, and your voice is powerful, man. That's why I'm on here, because what they're doing, man. These guys, Brandon Carr in 2012 is the last time you signed. Did you hear that thing with that one that you said that we spent the third least money?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
We are the most profitable sports franchise in the world, and we spent the third least, y'all. This is what they're doing, is making a lot of revenue and not spending a lot of money and making a whole bunch of money in between. They are printing over there, print press, and that's what they're trying to do. They're not trying to win Super Bowls, y'all. They're trying to break the bank. And that's what they're doing, man. I'm gonna get out of here, Law, man. I just wanted to come out and just say that, man, because it's just a misnomer, and people are always talking about saving money to get free agents. Those guys aren't interested in it. We're going to see right now with Bobby Wagner. He's a fit for our team. He's going to cost a little bit of money. We'll see what they do. But their actions tell me a lot more about them than what their words do. They can say whatever they want, but their actions always go back to their penny pinchers, man. And I'm going to holler at you later, Law. I appreciate you, brother.
Great call from B-Bird, man. Y'all beat me up today. Yeah, y'all beat me down on this Friday, man. Great observation. He said he wouldn't trade Trevon Diggs. Draco said he would. Past history states that the Cowboys would do this. They would not pay Trevon Diggs this year. Based off of historical data, they will allow him to play through this entire year, right? And this is philosophy, this is philosophy speaking, right? They would allow him to play this year, go into his final season, and play one more time, right? But hold his feet to the fire and say whether or not they're going to, put the franchise tag on him or let him walk. And, this just how it goes. That's just how it's the Cowboys' way at this point. So on one angle, Draco is right because, hear me out, put that butter knife down now. Draco is right if they decide to let this thing go all the way up into the franchise tag mode, right? That's where Draco is right. B. Bird and Coach Marv and others are right if you go ahead now and sign him up for a long-term contract, seal everything off, and don't wait till we get to that point, meaning that you can move some stuff around a whole lot better. And keep in mind, the $111 billion money, the reserve money, comes in next year, 2024. So you're going to have a lot of money, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the Amazon deal. And I think it's $55 to $60 billion from the sports betting situation. These owners printing money regardless. You know, my guy D Shift from the 409. What's on your mind?
I see what you're saying, Law. As far as like, I mean, what you're saying as far as Draco saying with the Cowboys, and like a couple of years ago, man, I was on the mindset of trading DeMarcus Lawrence, and I got killed for it. I got drugged for it.
Right.
And I was ultimately kind of basically agreeing with Draco in the sense of they're not going to put no pieces around D-Law. You just dry paying $20 million. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Because the thing is, I wouldn't want to agree with Draco in the sense of I wouldn't trade when you're right there in prime. Like, I think people who trade for those type of assets are teams who are very far away. You know, and I think you're right there. I think you're the closest. I think this offseason will give you evidence as to what B. Bird is talking about, though. When you flip it, like these things, like crazy how they're so far in on the spectrum, but the Cowboys kind of do both of them. You know,
right.
And I just to wait that long to pay somebody as far as to let their value go down. Like you can pay Trevon Diggs right now, and he's going to fulfill his contract. Like because also what ends up happening is that when he gets later on in the year in the contracts, you know, these values go up. Every year these values are going up. You know, we said it with that. Everybody was complaining about $40 million, but at the same time, you had what? Now you got what, $50 million? Lamar wants what, 52, 51, APY?
The whole fiasco with Dak was they started the negotiation when we were starting the campaign of paying Dak was at 25 to 28 million. You know, that's when it started. It ended at 40. Why? Because they kept kicking the can, and they said, okay, let's prove it again. And 2019 really was the eye-opener that he finished 8-8, but his numbers, you remember, you get paid based off of the numbers you present, not based off the wins and losses, right? So the numbers were like, hey, you got to pay this man this amount of money because look at Goff and look at Carson Wentz. Look how they got paid. So that's how the $40 million came into play. But what if I told you you could have traded Dak then, right? For 2 firsts, maybe 2 seconds. I don't know. Or let him test the market, right?
Yeah,
but then that would have been
when you talk about trading, that should scare you as a fan because they're not gonna get the value back. The Cowboys just don't know how to get value out of their players.
There you go.
They don't know how to put value around their players. They put enough value there to where they look valuable, right, on the field.
Right.
But at the end of the day, they're not gonna put. I mean, I want Deron Payne, but they're not going to sign Deron Payne.
No.
They don't. I mean,
it's not much of a splash look or feel by signing a defensive tackle, though, by the way, too, you know. The $20 million.
Football-wise, I mean, it makes perfect sense, right?
Football-wise,
that's what you are. Your best player on the field is telling you what he wants and exactly what he wants. But, I mean, if they do it, I'd be really surprised. But they just – I mean, when you think about when they let go of Miles Austin when Dez Bryant came in, right? You sitting up there thinking, man, we're going to have a wide receiver core with Miles Austin, Dez Bryant, and they let it go. So, I don't know, I'll let some other calls get in, man, but I totally agree, and I think everybody just kind of
right.
It's a lot. It's a lot of moving pieces with that front office, man.
Oh, it's a lot, man. It's a lot of stuff that's being handled the way it's been handled. Leave us with the emotional damage, like I said. You know, you don't know.
Nah, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going, Law. We're gonna keep supporting no matter what, man. How about them Cowboys, Law?
How about them, man? That's D Shift, man, from the 409. All right, so we got multiple super chats that came about, and I'm gonna go over these super chats. Let me go with it's Draco again. He says he come back with it. Do we want to win a Super Bowl or just go 12-5 every year? It takes risk, and Diggs trade is kind of a risk that can make champions. Yeah, but it's a risk though, and it will be a risk that the Cowboys normally don't do. It goes back to what B. Bird said, Draco, and I'm glad that he swayed my mind right back to this. You got too many in that seat as a GM. You got the risk taker, Jerry Jones, right? And then you have the conservative one out of Stephen Jones. And then you got the talent evaluator, the real one, Will McClay, Chris Hall, all of those boys, right? So you got too many in that seat as a GM. Now, if it was up to Stephen Jones, right, to get beyond 12-5, and he lose his job, then he would then take a little bit more of a risk with his spot. But by him knowing that he can go 12-5 or 5-12, and he will still have his said job, he don't have to really take that risk. Because at the end, the worst thing that can happen to him is Law Nation being mad at him, right? And who am I? I'm not even a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even a 500 millionaire. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to speak that against me, but I don't move the needle neither here nor there, right? So at worst, he can be like, well, oh, shucks, we get him next year. But when you have a GM that can lose everything, home, location, where he going to eat his meal at, all of that, he going to take that risk here and there. The pursuit of happiness, right? And the dude was going door to door selling time machines. They thought he was selling time machines. So that's just the reality of it. When was the last time? This is a super chat from my guy, Landlord. Appreciate him. And then we're going to bring my guy Swayze on, so hold tight. He said, when was the last time we drafted or signed a CB as good as Diggs? It's been a minute. And he hasn't even peaked yet. Those guys don't come around often. Pay the man. He said pay the man. So that is a good point there. That is a good point. C. Brown. Callers bringing the fire today. Great show. Appreciate you. They bringing all type of heat, man. They bringing high heat. Diggs hesitations on tackling. Trade him while you can get value for him. He's going to ask for the bank next year. And that's why, Abe, the only way you can get in front of it is now. Get in front of it before he play this season. Because in my mind, he's going to be better this year than what he was last year and the previous year. And the price of the bag is going up. Yes, he's going to want Denzel Ward's money, but the ideology is just get in front of it and pay that man right now. Dwayne Brown says the Cowboys ain't paying Diggs early. They should have somebody going to get set up so the Cowboys won't have to pay him. You see, he's already been talked about in a negative way. ... Pay him now, though. You know, I feel you. All right, let me let my guy in. It's good points, though, Dwayne. That's a good point, though. I ain't talking about Wade. Dwayne Brown over here, man. All right, from the 908, my guy, Swayze. What's good, man?
What's going on, Law? How's everything?
Everything is great, man. You know. I know you team Caleb Williams, so let's just go ahead and play with you, dog.
I'm not really in that mode right now. I ain't gonna hold you. Like I'm riding behind Dak Prescott for this year. Like I'm 100% behind Dak Prescott.
Okay.
The Dak Prescott conversation that can happen after the season is no way he's not going to be the starting quarterback this year. So I mean, it's a fun conversation, I guess, for debates. But right now, my mode is, to be honest with you, is the Trevon Diggs conversation. I don't understand why people are really considering to trade Trevon Diggs. Like, he's one of the best cornerbacks in the league. Like, what? Like, you can't get no better than that, and he's young.
Okay.
It doesn't make any sense. It's ludicrous. I'll pay him now, honestly. I'll pay him top cornerback money right now, honestly. The market's going to go up, and you know, it is what it is. Like, that's what the market is right now. Like, pay your guys. Like, he earned it.
Mm-hmm.
I would say this, though. I do think the Bobby Wagner conversation, I'm not paying Bobby Wagner top. I mean, like, you know, unless it's the vet minimum, I'm not paying Bobby Wagner. It's his third. This will be his third team in a couple of years.
True that.
He's getting a little older. I'm just not doing that. I mean, we did that before with the Zach Thomas. Remember, we got Zach Thomas and we got the dude from the Atlanta Falcons. What was his name?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Down in 09.
Yeah, you going way back.
Yeah. Like, that reminds me of that. It's like, we get him, but he's not going to be a real difference maker. He might be a difference maker in a couple of regular season games, but in the playoffs, like, I just don't think he would be. You'll see him and be like, oh, where Bobby Wagner at? Oh, now we letting the rookie get some burn. Like, you know how that go. Like, so, I'm not doing that. Yeah, I'm not franchise tagging Tony Pollard. I'm letting him walk. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He's coming off an injury. That's just common sense. Like, and I'm letting Ezekiel Elliott walk. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, like, it's past his term. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so.
Well. Here's my stance on this again. You know, I look at Ezekiel Elliott. At least his camp is saying, okay, let the combine go through. Let me see where my team. Let me see where his value is at. Right. So what he's saying is that they are willing to listen to the Jones family and what they are willing to take the pay cut from, you know what I'm saying, as far as his money and these sorts of things. So let's circle this and let's circle back to this when the time hits then, because I would think that Ezekiel Elliott at $6 or $7 million, he won't be that bad as it relates to 18 million, right?
That's too much.
Even
like,
that's too much.
Done.
Ooh.
He's punch drunk. He's like, I hate to use that for lack of better terms. Like, he's punch drunk. Like, it's over. Like, he didn't take care of his body early in the season and caught up to him, and he's taking too many hits. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jason Garrett ran him to the ground, literally. So it's kind of too late. I'm not paying him $6-7 million.
Not even that.
Get that money somewhere else.
So who do you want? All right. So let me ask you this. What are we going to do with the excess of money? Like what are we going to do with that?
I mean, the Titans got rid of their left tackle. I'm looking at that situation. I'm saying, hey, Tyron Smith, is he like I'm evaluating Tyron Smith, and I'm seeing, hey, are you good? Is he over the edge? Things of that nature. I might get the left tackle from the Titans that they just got rid of. Like
Taylor Lewan, right? He's been injured, banged up, and things like that, right? I think that he only played like 3 or 4 games this past season. Let me ask you this though, and this was a great philosophy. I asked, I believe, my guys on the Final Word last night, could we pull what the Eagles did? They flat out cut Fletcher Cox. Let him test the market, and they kind of gave him a nudge and say, if nobody come pick you up, we will sign you to a good deal. And he came back pissed and got 7 to 8 sacks this past season. That's still more productivity than we ever had from the interior in the last 10 years, So could the same be for even Tyron Smith? Can we save $17 million or such by just cutting him in hopes that all of these teams pass up on him anyhow, since he came out saying that, hey, you know what, I want to retire Cowboy, and then we'll take that money to do whatever we need to do with it. Is that possible?
That's a good idea. Yeah, that's possible. That's a good idea. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I ain't gonna lie, I was calling for, like, other than, I mean, it's football, but it was outside of Cowboys. It's the off season. We got
right.
It's not a lot of things to talk about. So I wanted to talk about you real quick. And it's crazy how, like, you've been growing for the past couple of years. I remember when you only had like 5K subscribers, and you've been going up. Like, So let me ask this question: like, how many subscribers, how many views a day do you need for you to be like, all right, this is my full-time job? Like, I'm doing the 105.3 thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm full-time Cowboys media, because you are legitimate local Cowboys media. You
right.
Be bigger than 105.3 The Fan. So,
oh wow. I would have to figure out ways to make $1,000 a day, basically, before I give up everything. But I feel you, man. Views are nice right now. In season, off season. There's no placeholder to me as far as when I go live, depending on my other capacities there. I think that there's a need for a space like somebody like independently like me, and that can go hours and hours. That's robotic a little bit, like a Jason Garrett. How you doing, guys? I'm robotic like that a little bit, right? Because I go live, man. I do a video session, film sessions. I'm working on Cam Smith films now. I'm working on other guys that can help out this team. In order for me to quit everything for what I do on my day-to-day operation, I need a big-time sponsor to come scoop me up and say, okay, Law, here's a big settlement right here, but I still want you to be you know what I mean? Like a Joe Rogan, right? You seen what Joe Rogan got?
Yeah.
Or my guy, was the guy Gilly the Kid and the other guy, Wallow. That dude's got $100 million. Oh, my God.
Or even do what's his name? Vouch, and he got signed by Volume. With Colin Cowherd company.
Yeah.
I like what he did there. That was a good deal for him.
That was a real good deal for them. I don't think that I would be able to fit into that space of volume, but I would tell you this, that I really like what my guy A to Z Sports doing, Skywalker and Vouch. Both of those guys are doing a remarkable job in within the confines of that space there.
Yeah, and also, do you have any? Is there any possibility you could do like other content other than the Cowboys, but it's still football related? You know what I'm saying? Because like recently, I've been watching Deion Sanders, Colorado, every single day. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm talking about every single day. Like they like the Black America's team, like Colorado right now.
Colorado now, yeah.
So, yeah. So like, is there any chance like you might do some side content where you following Colorado or things of that nature? You know what I'm saying? Like where it's football content, but it's not necessarily just the Cowboys, like on another channel or something like that. I like
when things go around, let me tell you this. I got some things that's in the making. Right now, just based off of time, and I can speak to this. I was offered to get flown out there to Utah, right, for the All-Stars, right? But timing, you know, I still got little ones. I still got other things that I do. So timing didn't manifest itself for me, right? But next year it will. So Law Nation will be doing basketball content. So we reaching out to the Mavs, and Law Nation will be part of the Mavs team, the Dallas Mavs. So it's on a bigger scale of what you're just saying, just basically of me just doing just Cowboys content. But I'm just trying to negotiate the time frame now. And it was Gabrielle Union and D Wade's foundation that we was going to work in conjunction with, but the timing, like they were like, hey, Law, we going to fly you out Thursday. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, wait a minute, I got kids and stuff like that. Somebody got to watch them, and somebody got to get this and tickets and stuff like that. So, but y'all continue to help support the nation, and then you'll look back and you'll see me on TV. I like No Jumper podcast. I like what they do. I've been watching other podcasts like Pivot Podcast and what they do within the confines of their space. And we've been grinding hard on getting Law Nation the studio here in Dallas so we can have that same type of vibe and feel. And we are working. We got some things, man, that next season, by the time it kick off, you be like, man, dog, this Law Nation dude, he a real one, you know, because it'll be in the podcast stadium situation suite, and it's going to be nice, man. We're just trying to work out some loose ends on it this time around.
Yeah, because when I was watching 105.3 The Fan one time, like during the regular season, I saw a Law Nation copy. Like I'm talking about, like it's like, almost like it was like, let's get like someone like Law Nation into our studio. I forgot his name, but he got the same type of like mohawk type fro or fade or something like that.
Wow.
Black too. You know what I'm talking about? I think you know what I'm talking about too. Like
right. It's my guy.
Like, yo, that's like a Law Nation. That's like a Law Nation.
A clone.
Like it was like
that's clone. Reggie, like, man. Like, Reggie. I get that sometimes, man. I bet you he get that. Hey, Law Nation. Oh, that ain't Law Nation, man. You know what I mean? I get a lot of people look like me a little bit. You know.
Nah, yeah, but I was just calling in to check up on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, sometimes like I like to thank you for the content over the years, especially like these past couple of years where it's nothing really to be happy about, even though we've been going 12-5.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of crazy.
It's miserable.
It's like 12-5 is the new 9-7. 12-5 is like the new 9-7. I'm not gonna hold you. Like, but
right. But I appreciate you, Swayze, man. I thank you, man.
I appreciate. Oh yeah. Oh, are you gonna do combine content like live?
Oh yeah, combine is right around the corner. Yeah, we'll be doing some analysis on that, and we working. Look, I'm speaking it out. You know, we working on having the whole Oxnard with Law thing all sponsored. You know what I mean? So. We working on some things like that, so it's going to be phenomenal. More access, more visible information for you all, and better equipment. And this is based off the backs of you guys supporting, sharing the content, and grinding. Man, I'm boldly can say that 42 million views in 1 year, that ain't nothing to sneeze at, right? So we were able to do that as a task, and in month to month, we're hitting right at over 50 million impressions. So those numbers, when we spit those out to the marketers and the sponsor, they like, shoot, how's this dude doing it? You just one guy? I said, yeah, I don't have a team. Like, everything that you see is by me. You know what I'm saying? Everything from the logo, the graphics, the arts, and everything. So yeah. So we growing.
And let me ask you one question. I'm about to hang up right now. I got actually one Cowboys related question before I did. All right, Dak Prescott goes 12-5. He wins his first playoff game. It was kind of decent. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. They won by 2 touchdowns in wild card. The next following week, he has another game where he throws 2 interceptions, and he makes a little comeback, but he ends up losing, but because of his mistakes in the beginning of the game in the division round. What is your, from that point? This is only a prediction right now, right? This is we just having a fun conversation. Like, what would be your reaction, or how would you look at Dak Prescott? Would you want another quarterback, or would you still want to keep Dak Prescott at that point?
Well, that's a mouthful right there. Appreciate you, Swayze. I don't want that future right there. You know, this last season, this past season, losing to the Niners. Y'all know my brother is a diehard 49er fan, and I'm still angry at the 2nd and 2, you know, empty. And the other INT, whereas Gallup, you know, stopped on his route, and even Dak throwing that ball there. So I'm still upset about that. But as transparent as I can be, I can tell you that going into the off season, working up to all what we did to get to that point again, for us to lose in the same fashion, you would have to say at that point, damn, Dak, come on, dog. You know what I mean? But it would be one of those situations, honestly, that it will be time to move on. But here's the booty of it. You know, you can't, because what will happen here, the Cowboys should extend Dak before that time frame. So he should be in an extension mode, right? He should be. It'll just be horrible for the Cowboys. Good click for ESPN, First Take, and beyond. But that means that the Cowboys win 3 seasons, 12-5, and win a playoff game to lose one. Then there's something else that had to be the cost of that, in my opinion. But I don't see the Cowboys doing that, though. You know what I mean? Abe says Draco for president. I feel you, fam. But I don't know what else to say. It's hard to even defend this team. If that the case, but you will have to, ladies and gentlemen, extend Dak before we get to that point of talking about going 12-5 again, winning a playoff game. You will have to somehow extend him, because then the argument will be the Cowboys didn't do all what it needed or necessary for Dak to get to that moment, right? That means we played on a $49 million cap hit. Shoot, I don't know if teams are doing that. All right, from the 682, man, you're live. You've been waiting here. What you got for me?
Hey, Law. I just got a few things I just want to say. That's it. I'm at work, so I gotta make it real quick.
Okay. Cool.
The first one I just want to say about corners is Jordan Lewis. I have 3 options for him. The first option would be we keep him and we wait how the free agency play out. Okay. Second option, we keep him and the free agency don't work out. We keep him and we see how the draft work out. We can always trade him up for the draft, up or down. Don't matter. If the third option, if the draft in the free agency don't work out, we can keep him for another season. And knowing Jordan Lewis, I'll feel more trusted to have Jordan Lewis on the other side of Trevon Diggs instead of Anthony Brown or Kevin Joseph nor Sean White. Okay. Another thing, Trevon Diggs, I feel like we should I feel like everybody needs to take a breather with him just a tad bit. When I say take a breather, I just feel like we all should just wait until the free agency is over before we make any hasty decisions. Because you never know. We could get a corner that could replace him at any moment of time. That's just my personal opinion.
No doubt. What's your name again, fam?
Nation.
Nation.
I call it Kobe. I'm the guy that y'all all making fun of about the speed dude before the season started last year.
Nation.
Last year. Yeah,
okay.
Nation.
Yeah.
That's just my personal opinion.
Well. You got some points there, but I would say that Lewis is a slot corner, right? So. Mm-hmm. So Bland stepped in, and I don't think no one missed Lewis once Bland stepped in, right? Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So from what we discovered last night, from what I was listening to my guys, they said the type of injury that Lewis got is going to be one that's going to take some time. So he may not even be the same Lewis that we've seen. And if you cut him, and I know it's crass to cut somebody while they hurt, but you would save $4 to maybe $5 million, and you can take that money to go out there to secure maybe a veteran DB that can help you out, or put money toward the books on Dayron Bland.
Okay, you got a point.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's all I really have to say. I gotta go.
No doubt.
Look at me, but all I gotta say is keep up the good work, man. And I'm a big fan. And just how about them Cowboys?
How about them, man? Shout out to Nation, man. That's a dope name too, by the way. That's Nation, y'all. He was the last caller. I appreciate everybody, man. I thought for sure I was going to keep it over for only like 15 to 20 minutes. But we can all see we've been over for an hour. I'm going to get back to family. We got friends and family in town today. And that's why I've been bouncing here and there. That's why the show been kind of a little late, because we normally go live earlier in the daytime on Friday. And then I jumped on with Okoye. So check out Okoye film analysis in our earlier video. We went live over there for about 30 minutes to an hour. I jumped on with him, and let's read up these super chats and some quick Q&As, and we're gonna get on up out of here. But I appreciate y'all so much. Cali Cowboy says Diggs not tackling is a risk, Law. If he hits Kittle on that bobble catch, we would have won that game. You know me as Mike in 49ers land. Appreciate you, Mike.
Dracarys.
Yeah, Mike. But here's the thing, Mike. If the aficionados called illegal wide receiver down the field or illegal receiver down the field, that play shouldn't even exist too, you know. But to your point there, and this is my thoughts. This could be me putting the lipstick on the pig. I'm not going to pull the pig up, by the way. But this could be the situation, ladies and gentlemen, that all that week y'all was talking about his tackling technique and things like that, and in his mind he stopped going for the picks. You know, I just want Trevon Diggs to play Trevon Diggs brand of football. He ain't gonna be a tackler, y'all. And by the way, he shouldn't be covering the tight end. By the way, it should be somebody else that should have been on that route concept, juxtaposed to Trevon Diggs. But I do agree with you. Even if he just get in the way, touch him, that would have been an incomplete pass. Too Cool says risk taking is going out and trading for Hopkins and signing Odell Beckham Jr., then bringing or drafting Bijan Robinson Who is Washington, though? Who is Washington? Let me know, Too Cool. Who is Washington? Is that James Washington? Or which one is Washington? And which one is the Washington guy? I need to know, man. But I feel you, Too Cool. Thank you so much for this. Then we be called the Geritol boys. You know what I'm saying? We got all old people. We got Odell Beckham. He's kind of long in the tooth. DeAndre Hopkins, he's long in the tooth. Darnell Washington. I have to look up that tape. Stephen White, if that's the Washington he's talking about. But then we'd be the Geritol boys. You know what I'm saying? We'd be a long in the tooth team. Do you bring back T.Y. too? You ain't got no alibi. All right, man. We got another super chat from Too Cool. JJ is too personally involved in his players. Go out and bring in a GM with something to prove and a job to work for. Dak is becoming Tony because of JJ being too close. Now, Dak Prescott, this is just fluff news, right? Fluff, I'm gonna call it fluff. He's been invited to do things with the Jones family, but he would rather not, go on the yachts, go on the personal trips. And to a degree, I do like that out of Dak Prescott. Don't go on the personal trips with the Jones family. Don't do that. But that's taking a risk too. Too Cool. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. But yeah. But don't do that. Don't do that. He's the tight end from UGA. All right, I'm going to look him up. I haven't even looked at the tight end market. But I like what we got right now. We like our guys. WLOG. No doubt, man. Shout out to you. Y'all be sure to check out my guy Landlord too, man. Would you trade Steph because he's not playing defense or not rebounding? Are you talking about Steph Curry? No, I don't think they would trade Steph Curry. I don't think that they would do that if you're talking about Steph Curry. No. Alexander says, what Alexander say? Prime wasn't a tackler as well. He wasn't. All right, one more super chat. Hell no, Schultz is gone. Oh, Schultz gone. Let Jake Ferguson fill this role in. And Jake Ferguson, Peyton Hendershot, Sean McEwen. I think that those three can be something nice for us in years to come. All right, Cowboy Nation, I really appreciate y'all. If I go any further, man, it'll be 7 o'clock marathon show for real. I really appreciate y'all so much for growing the nation. I thank y'all so much collectively. And I'm not braggadocious or anything like that, but we are on multiple platforms. Check out lawnationsports.com. We revamping the website. The website finna be even more doper than what it was last year, and just improving it brick by brick. Being 1% better than what you was the day before is everything to me. Check me out on Roku, Amazon devices like your Fire Stick. I'm there, Law Nation Sports, or under Law Nation, you will see my face, name, or logo on Twitter, Twitch, as well as Facebook.com. Y'all check me out. I'm on Twitter real heavy these days. And check it out, baby. We on multiple outlets. Oh, did I leave out TikTok too? And Law Nation's 2.0. Y'all be sure to check me out on all of those platforms and do your boy a huge favor. The best thing you can do to help elevate the nation, hitting that like button, subscribing to this channel, and all of the other resources out there. And sharing is caring. Just help out my guy, J May, from getting a speeding ticket or getting a ticket in general from taking the wrong turn. Some people will take the wrong turns in life and continue to go down that street. But sometimes all you got to do is just stop. Reverse if you need it and turn around. And the Cowboys been trying to do the same things over and over again, expecting different results. Just stop, slow down, reverse. head back the other way. That's life too. Sometimes cheaper is not the best option. We explained that today, right? The contractor. At first the builder was saying, hey, $10,000 is too much. Let me get 3. And they used 3 and it was wrong. And end up costing them more and more money to redo it. Now it's $16,000. Sometimes cheaper is not the best option. Right? Synthetic is just as good as organic, Law. Yeah. If you ain't talking about automobiles and you talking about what's going into the body, you better go try to find those organic things, right? It's too expensive to eat healthy. You know the craziest thing about that, ladies and gentlemen? That life itself, you treat your body good, your body will treat you good. There's so many metaphors and analogies we can use with that. The lunatic says, Dollar Bill Stephen Jones need to learn to be an active in free agency. Blessing, Cowboy Nation. Appreciate you. But if you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired of it, and it makes you all hold everything tawdry and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you'll gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, or plan for it, and lose all terror of your mind, if you would simply, just simply go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength, and scarcity, with faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity. If neither cold, poverty, or famish, or fame, or sickness of your body or brain can turn you away from the thing you want, if dogged and grim and besieged and beset with the help of Almighty, you will get it. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys. Jerry, I've been following this team before you bought the team. So break me off something, Jerry, since you want to hold on to some of that cash. Break me off something, man. Let a boy hold about $500 million. No doubt, man. They say if there's one thing a man should always do, mainly to himself be true. Never allow someone to change your point of view unless what they bring makes sense to you. Never judge a man by height alone, nor by the sight he has grown. Oh, I said it back. Never judge a man by sight alone, nor by the height he has grown. And when speaking, keep it at a moderate tone, because raised voices turns hearts into stone. You see, in the beginning, it was, how about them Cowboys? The morals of life, live, love, and respect for another. Then there are those who will try to be smart. They would take a decent man to alter his heart, to seek to rip him apart. Those man no man should call a friend, because they bend the lies around the truth until it meets their end. Now run it up, baby! In the midst of making up for the failures, you got to continue to fight through it. You see how I was stumbling over my words? Just pick up the pieces and keep it moving, baby. That's life. Don't stop. Law, you should be a motivational speaker. Well, I'm motivating you all right now. Law, you selling dreams. Well, Dr. Martin Luther King sold dreams. He never got a chance to see beyond 39. The Mandela effect will have y'all thinking that him and Malcolm X was in their 50s or 60s when they perished. They were young men. Real young men. 39, that's young. To the game. Come on. Shout out to you, the lunatic. Shout out to all that supported this movement. Let's check in one more time on those Eagles. They crying. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. Come on. Don't let the Mandela effect affect you. Got some breaking news.
We answered. I talked up. I thought we had it. But it goes to show you who's the better team. And I'm sticking Cowboys.
You crying?
I'm hurt. I love my Eagles. I don't believe it.
You gonna flap the hat one more time for the Eagles for the hard fight they did?
Let's go Birds, fly Eagles, fly. Still Super Bowl team.
I just had to rub it in on them one more time. Let me get on up out of here, man. I love y'all, man. Oh, man, to the moon and back, baby. Oh, my gosh, man. I can hear them right now. Law, man, why you keep bringing up old news, man? At least we made it to the Super Bowl, and y'all haven't. Monte! I'm getting too old for this, Monte.
FBI, open up!
Oh my gosh, man. I forgot to shoot that bird. Did he fly off too far? Oh, he circled back. Oh, you went to the wrong block. Oh, I missed. How dare I? There you go, I got him. Peter ain't got nothing on me. It was C. Brown that shot that bird. Rico Jones that shot that bird. So over it did it. I didn't do it. Law, you snitching. Yeah, dog. I'm T.I. in my way up out of here. T.I. was in all type of band with my boy. Come on, man, T.I.
Hey, bro, come on, dog. Come on, man. Don't let the street lights teach you. Can I be your player too?
I follow.
Wherever you go.
Come on. Get out of here, haters. Until next time. And another one. You all alone. Don't forget to check out the Law Nation Starter Kit. Law Nation Sports Amazon Equipment Store. The Starter Kit for you and you. Play a tune. I follow. I hit that note right there, y'all. Come on.
If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly,
Fuck the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Fly on.
Like this motherfucker don't miss.